everyone, we're going to state the number of positive real zeros, negative real zeros, and imaginary zeros for each function using Descartes' rule of signs. And here's our polynomial function. So that's, we'll get started. So basically we just want to know possibly how many zeros, what kind of zeros do we have. So the first one, we have two little scenarios. So we're going to look at the positive real zeros. That means let's put in f of 1, and you're going to write out your coefficients of the terms. So if when I'm plugging in 1 here, write them out. So this is going to end up being a 4. And then we have 3. Then you plug in a 1 for the x cubed, you get negative 2. So basically when you're plugging in 1, you're just copying down the coefficients. Now, according to Descartes' rule of signs, so when the sign changes, that's going to be how many terms you have. So for example, from 4 to 3, the sign does not change. We're going from positive to positive. So when we go from 3 to negative 2, the sign changes. Here the sign changes. It keeps changing. It changes 4 times. So that means we have at most 4 positive real zeros. But you can also go down. It's or less than by an even number. So it's 4, 2, or 0 positive real zeros. I'll just put reals. No, I'll put real zeros. All right. Now for the negative real zeros, we're going to do the same thing, but let's plug in negative 1. So we're going to find the negative 1 and count the sign changes. So we're doing p of negative x. So let's do that. And when you plug in negative 1 into these odd numbers, it changes the sign. Everything else stays the same. So we're going to have negative 4. This one's going to stay the same, 3. This is going to be negative because negative 1 cubed is negative. So that's going to be negative 2. Well, it's negative, so now it's positive 2. 5. Positive 6, and then just copy down the 1. So now let's look at the sign changes. This changes from negative 4 to 3, but the rest of these do not change signs. So these would all be no's. So that means there's only one negative real. We do have one negative real. And now let's look at the imaginary. Remember with our positives, we had 4, 2, or 0. So if we have 4 reals, then we have 0 imaginaries. So these are the reals. Now let's write imaginaries. If you have 4 reals, you have 0 imaginaries. If you had 2 reals, you're going to have 2 imaginaries. And if you have 0 reals, you would have 4 imaginaries. So that's how you count that. Remember, this was the degree of 5, and this one negative real still holds. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.